Welcome back to HyzerMedia's coverage of round 2. We are on the back 9 at Stafford Woods in Voorhees, New Jersey. This is the Stafford Open, the finale to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series. This tournament is run by South Jersey Disc Golf, and it is sponsored by Innova Disc Golf. Our coverage for this round is also sponsored by D-Town Disc Golf, established in 2012. I am Dave Oster here with Lou Garcia. Lou, you still with us?
I am here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Excited to be with all of you. And like I mentioned before, it's moving day. Some people are moving, some people are not. There's a couple players here that are not having the second round start that they wanted, but there's 9 more holes for the second round. And here we are in the back 9. So they have to make some adjustments here and, put the pedal to the metal and see if they could try to, bump their position on moving day here.
And they will start by tackling hole 10, par 3, 265 feet, straight, narrow gap, pretty tight. You gotta hit the line, whatever you can do to keep it straight.
I like the forehand play here. Eyes up on the target. It's easier to hit. I'm not saying I could do it. I just feel like it's the better play.
The odds are with you with the forehand. Or maybe a thumber.
Right, like we seen in round 1 from Phil. I still have got to get out there and try that.
Certainly makes you think of what other types of shots that are kind of outside the box that you could throw in other holes or other courses. You think you have your game plan on a lot of different holes, and then you see something like that work so well.
Disc golf is your, it's whatever you want it to be in terms of how you want to play it. The course is your canvas. You and your bag, the paint and the brush.
There you go. Very well put.
Luke flirting with trees over there on the right side. I think he may have caught one at the end. Terry's ready to go. He knows it's going left.
And he actually landed in one of the more open parts of the rough on this hole, where he was able to get a forehand.
Oh, what a stab.
Kind of an awkward bid from Jonathan and Hyzer off a knee around a bush, but gives it the right shot shape, just not enough.
I mean, that also from Luke was awkward stance.
Yeah. And good comebacker from Jonathan.
Yep. Okay. Styling.
Kind of giving the basket a hug.
And we are here now on hole 11, par 5, 775 feet. This was yesterday's hardest hole. Today, I'm assuming it's second hardest hole. There's not much movement for this hole here. It is very difficult. It could be laid out very easily and say play here and play there and little upshot and make your putt. The problem is it's just good, tough, demanding woods golf.
I don't know what happened today, but this hole was only the 7th hardest.
I don't believe you.
I'm going off of the statistics brought to us by the professionals.
Somebody forgot to carry a 1. There's no way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that might be right. I think if you add a whole stroke to what it's at, is what it should be. It is playing under par.
Stop it.
4.96.
Well, it's impressive. If the players kicked butt out there on this day, then that is not going to be normal.
Absolutely not. And I would say that a large change like that could be due to weather conditions, but we're very similar today as we were yesterday. It could just be that the players are tired of taking double and triple bogeys, so they're playing it a bit safer, bringing the average down.
I don't want to sound like John Madden here with something really cliche and odd, but I think the players are coming to terms with not committing to their shot and hitting trees. And, you know, when you do something like that, you tell yourself, I should have just threw the thing. So once that sets in, you're going to start producing a much better shot and trusting your game a lot better. This throw might work.
Connor not in a good spot.
No. You got to negotiate this first hill and turn. So, literally doing a jump putt pitch out to get to where he's at right now. And he's going to have to throw this massive flex forehand here. He totally has it. He just has one gap to hit. And he crushes it. He threw that perfect.
I do like the full commitment of his second shot. Full body on the ground. Just to get to where he could do his third shot.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know how many times you go to lay up or do something and you get an unwanted, second error? A player like Connor knows you got to give it your all the time, even on a little pitch out or upshot, whatever it takes to guarantee your success.
Absolutely. And even these players that got around the corner in the first shot, it's not an easy second shot.
No, it's hard to tell where Jonathan is right now. But now you're starting to see. He's left side fairway. He still has to negotiate this hill and this turn. They got down there a little ways. Now this is left side. That fought through that branch. That's amazing.
That was a loud smack. Sounded like it would have just dropped it, but it did keep traveling forward, and he is middle of the fairway, maybe circle 2.
Well, Terry throws hard, so
yes.
It could fight through a branch or two for sure. And Luke's got that left for his... Is this for
believe
par?
That would be...
I gotta wait for the scorekeeper
yes,
to
it's
tell me.
either a birdie or a par.
Find it. Let's go.
All right, this is...
We're looking at Connor's second shot again?
No.
Very similar.
Very similar.
But this one is actually a putt towards the green. Landing just left side.
Give it to him.
Just over the rim. Take a look at it again.
The man does the work. Pay him. That's it.
Jonathan just a step inside Terry. And also makes it. And we'll see this again.
Just leave the music rolling. Because it's raining putts in here today.
Same angle. Almost same distance.
We better get a replay after this putt. What an amazing par save. I mean, made it practically nowhere off of his drive. Pitches out, throws a third shot, pitches out again for a second time, and makes par.
That's great. So 3 birdies and a par, crushing yesterday's results, both in the field and the card that we watched. Great job.
So we're dealing with this hole 12 here, par 3, 243 feet up the hill. Hyzer shot. Just got to make sure your disc ends up high enough to finish towards the pin in the air. First we have Jonathan. I believe he's throwing his trusty Chameleon EMAC Truth.
Oh my God.
You see Luke looking like he's lining up a very steep hyzer shot.
Oh, that's still a putt though. That's still a putt.
Little tree kick, but right on circle's edge.
It's a good adjustment from yesterday. Yesterday he had a bit of a high and inside early release, and it rolled down. He never quite had an opportunity for the birdie. Today he's created that one. All right, Connor's got to look too. What a great putting stroke. Like I said, very little variables in his stroke. It's just reach in, reach out. Very calm. There's no like hitched banging motions. It's just so smooth. Awesome putt, Connor.
So 4 birdies on the card, and we move on to hole 13, par 3, 204 feet. Back down the hill we just threw up, and need to hit a gap and fade a little bit to the right and land on the green for your birdie.
Jonathan going harp here. You know, even if you finish straight, you're still pretty much right there. making contact with the tree and just leaving him dead short on the fairway there to the left.
That's the perfect disc for the ball.
Yep, and that's parked.
Luke really used the full width of the fairway, riding that left side, coming in just soon enough to miss that last tree.
Terry down there as well.
Yeah, getting a little sneaky, little lucky through the trees on the left side, but similar result.
Find it. That'll find it. It did. That's fun all day. Why don't you say find it?
A little flex forehand out of Connor.
I think that disc had some stability to it. After getting a little bit of a kick to the left, still fought back to the right into the circle. Ooh. Didn't make the putt, but did catch his glasses falling off his hat as he putted. So,
Yeah, I didn't know what that look was.
I'll take that as a half a win.
Because it looked like the putt could have went in.
Yeah.
But like right out of his hand, he looked like bothered by something. That was him catching his glasses.
But he is still next to the basket for his par after the other three are going to end up with a birdie.
What a gentleman.
So friendly.
All right, hole 14. It's a fun little shot here. Flex forehand. They move the basket position from around this area up to this area. If you're a right-handed player and you don't have a flex forehand like Luke, you're going to have to get crafty. Some people push the straight shot and try to go local route backdoor here. Sometimes, just sometimes, you'll actually have a pretty decent putt at it.
I think that is the tree that they're trying to miss.
Just misses to the left. The old throw at it and hope to miss it strategy.
That's right. I'm not good enough to hit that tree. If I try, I couldn't possibly do it.
I don't know if that was his justice. It could have been. I think that's the right disc for this hole. It shapes well for sure because it's so overstable. You could put such an extreme angle on it and it'll still fight back. So you could really commit to the turnover on the forehand with no worries of it coming back. Oh, that just released wide.
Almost hitting that backdoor gap like you were
Yeah.
saying, but unfortunately kind of in between and falls down.
Oh, Luke.
Luke upset with himself on that throw. Not a bad high and Hyzer bid for that one from Jonathan.
This is Connor's long look at birdie.
Just high. Luke for par.
You're up.
Oh no, that's got to
that has-
sit down.
And it does. That is a long hill. It could keep going for a while. Luckily, it did sit where it did.
Terry going off the cage. Sliding off to the right.
Great putt to save his bogey.
Not a hole you want a bogey. I don't think any hole you want a bogey.
But especially not this one.
Something as short as this. Yes, it's technical to a degree, but this has got to be one of the easier holes on the course, even with the technical move that it has.
Absolutely. Playing .27 strokes under par. This is one of the easier holes on the course. But we move on to hole 15. Par 4, 731 feet. First goal, get out of the gap, land in the open field. Second goal, find another gap, and don't throw so far past the green on this sloped hill. And maybe give yourself a putt for birdie.
I think this is up there with probably one of the most difficult holes to birdie. I don't know that it's punishing in terms of bogeying, but I think it's just one that is hard to get. How many birdies on the day did they have on round 2 for this hole? I wonder.
Only 12. It is playing as the second hardest hole. And like you said, very, very few birdies.
And that's the thing, without the birdies to outweigh the bogeys, it's going to obviously give it an over par average.
.27 over par.
John ripping one out there. And up next, Luke Samson.
Nothing too crazy.
Luke crushes one out there. But a bit low.
Looked like it landed a little bit short and left.
Jonathan reaching wide for that backdoor hyzer route.
And crashing through the trees and ending up somewhere between circle 1 and circle 2. You'll have a downhill look at it. Terry just missing his line, hitting a tree, coming up a little bit short.
Luke weighing out his options, and he finds the shot he wants and puts it right by the basket, so that'll be short work for him for his par.
Ooh. Good straight line by Connor, just a little low. Right off the rim. We see Jonathan lining up for his birdie putt. Oh, just too high off the band. Luckily, it did sit right under the basket. As we can see, the slant of the hillside rollaways are a definite possibility here for missed putts.
Step up like an old man.
All right, we are stepping up to hole 16, the easier par 4 today. It's much like hole 5 in terms of appearance off the tee. It has OB all around it, so there's high grass on the right, high grass on the left. It's roped all the way around back behind the basket. So, things to not do here. Throw OB off the drive.
Definitely goal number 1. Don't throw OB.
The first rule of tee shots, don't throw OB. The second rule of tee shots, you don't throw OB.
I thought you might have been going with a Fight Club reference there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Luke going with his patented forehand.
And he has great power with that forehand.
Oh, yeah. And Terry's gone. He's a fast player. Doesn't want to overthink anything. It's just how he plays. And that's it works for him. I've been told there's players that play faster professionally during tournaments. I mean, casual, we could all play a pretty quick pace. But we're talking, this is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series. That's just how he plays. You can't change that.
And that's okay. Whatever works for him.
That's what works for him.
Obviously, he's finding success in the world of professional disc golf, so he's doing something right.
How about you? You got a bit of a routine, or do you find yourself to be a quick player, or what?
I'd say time-wise, pretty average, but I definitely have a routine. You know, I like to mark my lie, grab a disc or two to make my decision. I feel like Terry just knows what he has walking up to his lie, whereas I usually like to see it before I make a decision.
Oh, for sure. Definitely there's, just enough thought that goes into it. He sees what he wants to do, and then he just goes out and tries to execute that. Are you a mini all the time guy? Do you mark all your lies with your mini?
I will mark up shots and anything other than a putt.
Right.
only if I'm using the disc that I just threw.
Gotcha.
Anytime I'm putting, I will definitely mark it with my mini, regardless of the other disc. But hole 17, par 4. 648 feet through the woods.
Pick your gap. It's, they're there. There's main parts of this fairway that you need to hit. There's parts of it that you could push and get extra footage. I've noticed that players that throw a forehand, maybe Connor could demonstrate for us, that push long, straight, and deep tend to benefit better. You find like another fairway back there. Catch his early tree. It's going to be a tough go from here. So, see what he comes up with next. We have Jonathan stepping up. He too will be whipping in a forehand. Not bad. Not great. I think he's gonna have to play the hole for, you know, a very difficult second shot if he's gonna want that birdie. I don't think it's just gonna give it to him.
Yeah, there's definitely one of those holes, if you don't have a almost perfect tee shot, it doesn't get any easier. There's no breaks to be had. And the farther down this fairway you get, it stays just as tight as off the tee, so.
Terry's right in the middle. That is a lucky break.
Connor just off the fairway, although it does look like he has somewhat of a line to get through there. Lands right in the fairway. Terry hit a tree and run up here. That was a tight line that he absolutely PR'd. Threw past the basket. Looked like he was maybe trying to go for it.
Jonathan going for one of these cut rollers again. And it's going. Sit.
All right.
He'll have a look.
Yeah.
A little bit of a long one, but he'll have a look.
Rollers through the woods just don't, at first glance, seem to make sense, but Jonathan makes them work. Connor hit this tree and run up in front of it. Oh, and almost makes him there.
Just fades right in front of the chains. Just a little more push, and that was his.
And a cage hit from Luke. And Jonathan from outside the circle, or just at circle's edge. And nails it.
What a cut. The deep straddle just outside circle 1.
And glasses stay on.
Gets the birdie. It's a great save.
Yeah, 2 early tree kicks and still able to save the par. That was a great third shot to give him that opportunity.
That's for sure. And there's Connor with a bird.
So 2 birdies and 2 pars as we head to hole 18.
This is it. Last chance here on moving day to try to capture up a birdie. I think this is, once again, this has got to be up there on one of the hardest holes to birdie. This hole shapes a lot like hole 14 does, in the respect that you need to throw this very demanding flex shot to get to the pin. This is just a bigger, harder version of hole 14. Let's see what Jonathan shapes up here.
Oh, get through.
Just misses
Good job.
and finds a tree.
Great shot. Yep.
But up near the green. Definitely not a bad spot to be compared to others that we've seen.
I may have just thought that was short, like it caught an unlucky kick, but that's actually up by the basket we're looking at right now.
Yes. Similar distance to Luke's. Got a great tree kick back to the middle of the fairway. Should have maybe an open look towards the basket.
I don't have my Raptors, so I gotta make do.
Terry similarly in the fairway, just 20 or 30 feet behind Luke. We'll see if Connor can also get up there.
It looked almost like the right shot,
Fairway hit.
just found a tree. They're there. They will get hit.
They certainly are there.
Okay. Game plan. Throw it by the basket, hit the bush.
That'll work. Oh,
That almost goes in.
that was almost a 100-foot throw-in from Terry for birdie. Luke does have an open look after a great tree kick. Can he capitalize? Oh, and just inches low.
He ran it. He tried.
Bring the whole freaking tree with me.
Jonathan going up and over, just not enough. Catches a couple leaves, might have just slowed it down. This hole is coming in as the 3rd hardest hole today at .24 strokes over par.
I think that has a lot to do with just being difficult to birdie. I don't see people really in large numbers doing much worse than a bogey here. It happens. But I think it's the lack of birdies that's going to creep that positive number over.
I think you're right, and that will do it for round 2 at Stafford Open. We see our scores, pretty good scores by Jonathan and Luke.
Yep.
Connor and Terry didn't have probably the rounds they were looking for. They did battle back after not great front nines to have better back nines. But take a look at the scoreboard. Matty O still in the lead with a 12 down, following his 13 round in round 1 for 25 down. Look at Johansson, Justin Rozak still up there. We'd like to thank our supporting sponsor, Smokey's Craft Barbecue, located in Bayville, New Jersey. Thank you for your support. We couldn't do it without the support of all of our sponsors, so.
Well, that was round 2. All we got left now is round 3. Let's see what kind of card we have. Like and subscribe to the video. We'll see you on the next tee.
See you next one.